our core values here is servant's heart. Who better to partner with than you guys? I mean,
but then also my dad was bivocational, and so he had his construction company. He farmed and raised chickens for Tyson, and he just pastored a church as well in Floyd's Knobs.
Welcome back to another episode of Andy's Talk. Today I'm joined by a good friend of mine, Channock Banet. And no, that is not a made-up name. That is his actual name. And how do you spell that? Because everybody puts an S in front of it. How many people put S in?
Everybody thinks it's like another form of Shannon.
Yeah.
Because it's like Channock, but no, it's actually Channock. So
Channock. When we worked with you a couple weeks ago in our CRM, everybody kept putting the S, and I have to go in and fix it. It's like, it's Channock. They don't get it. But yeah, so Channock, tell me a little bit about, we are a company that's based here in Southern Indiana. You are born and raised here. Tell me a little bit about where you went to school, what you did growing up, how are your Southern Indiana ties. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was born and raised in Floyd's Knobs, Indiana. First, let me backtrack to say thanks for having me on the podcast. Yeah. Super cool you reached out, and love being a part of stuff like this that is really about building connection. So I appreciate that. But yeah, I'm from Floyd Knobs. I have lived there my whole life. Matter of fact, we grew up on a farm in Floyd's Knobs. And so we raised chickens for Tyson. And then my dad also was in construction, had a construction crew, building houses, framing houses, building decks. So I've been at the job site kind of in the construction world since I could walk. But then also my dad was bivocational. And so he had his construction company. He farmed and raised chickens for Tyson, and he just pastored a church as well in Floyd's Knobs. And so,
I feel like if you could define the story of a Floyd's Knobs family, that is just it.
That might be it. Yeah, absolutely. And so went to the Floyd County public school systems my whole life up until my junior year, and I transferred to Restoration Christian, which is now Rock Creek charter school here in Sellersburg, but always been like a part of the community, whether it's in the church world or whether it's in just initiatives going on. With my dad being a pastor, I was introduced to all kinds of amazing things happening around our community, from feeding to clothing, to just helping our neighbors and people in the community with whatever. So I've kind of been in that world and around that my whole life. And I'm married. I have 4 boys, 4 sons, 2
Quiet
teenagers.
House, right?
Yeah, 2 teenagers, and then a 10 and 12-year-old. My wife always likes to say we have 5 boys in the house that she's raising because she just lumps me in there with the 4, but we're working on that. But anyway, yeah, my wife, Melanie, I met her in high school. Matter of fact, so we're high school sweethearts. And we've been married for 21 years.
That's amazing. So tell me a little bit about the history of the church, right? So you grew up, you went to, did you tell me Southern Seminary or?
Yeah.
Was it Boyce? What was that called at the time?
Yeah, it's Southern Seminary. Yeah.
Okay, so you, what was your first job in the church? Because you said you were in the construction, stuff like that. But when it was your dad's church, you still worked there. So what were you doing there?
Right. So, I currently pastoring Hill City Church, which I took over for my dad. And so it was formerly Cornerstone. He pastored for 32 years. And that church got to start just out of kind of a Bible study in the late 70s. And then from that Bible study, some guys were coming in and leading that Bible study and basically said, well, this is a church, what you're all doing, and you all know who the pastor is, right? And the people in this Bible study, there might have been 30 or 40 of them together, and they're like, no, what is even a church? What do you mean? And no, we don't know who the pastor is. Well, the guy said, well, it's Daryl Banet. That's my dad. He's the pastor of this thing. And my dad's like, wait, me? And then he tells the story that he remembers telling God, okay, I know you started something here, and I'll kind of carry it on and see it through until you bring along someone better, like someone that's actually trained, qualified, has been to seminary, something. And he said, little did he know it would be 32 years later and his son that would pick up that request. But so been a part of the church my entire life. Matter of fact, it's the only church home I've ever known. They were working on the building where our church currently is when my mom gave birth to me. So been going to that same church community my whole life. And growing up, of course, as a pastor's kid, you got to be there when the doors are open.
Oh, yeah.
You got to help out with whatever, whether it's cleaning toilets or running the sound or setting up chairs. Or I remember even as a teenager helping with Sunday school and leading that for the kids. Honestly, any kind of job you can think there would be out there in the church world, outside of like just preaching from a stage, I've done them all growing up. And so,
And you're a chicken farmer. I mean, you can do it all,
raised
man.
chickens for Tyson through the whole process for a long time. So that was a lot of work, and I got a lot of stories with that. I don't know how much you want me to share on that stuff. We can go back into that.
Well, you
later.
guys have like a famous gym. There's been some good basketball games played in that gym that you guys
Yeah,
have.
so eventually we got big enough. We built a family life center that included a gymnasium, and that was in 2000.
Okay.
And so it's been open for 24 years, and a lot of good games, good runs.
I was saying just
happening up
recently,
there.
I've seen Trey Coffin play up there. Sean East, who's now on the Lakers. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
well,
a
what's
pretty famous
crazy
gym up
is
there, man.
What's crazy is sometimes I don't even know about these runs happening, and then I see like you post a little vid or somebody will post like a little reel or something, and I'm like, oh wait, that's it. That's at Hill City, which is super cool.
And that's kind of what you guys have always been about from the outside in too, is like just the community aspect. So tell me a little bit more about that, because it was Cornerstone Church, and then I think within the last 5 or 6 years, it was rebranded to Hill City.
Yep.
You guys are all about like, hey, like this is a community, like let's serve together. So tell me about the rebrand and what that means to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we want to be a part of helping the community with our gymnasium specifically. What you're talking about is we let teams come up and practice. Most of the time, there's no cost associated or very little cost, because we really want to be a church community that actually helps the community in whatever way we can and however way we can serve them. So a lot of times it is just opening up our building or running different basketball leagues or whatever that looks like. But I took over for my dad in 2012. So it's been 12 years. Wow, long 12 years, but an awesome 12 years. And throughout the process, leading and pastoring, one of the things that I really kept hearing in my spirit is that we got to get outside of the four walls of the church building more. We have to get out into the community. Like we're called, Matthew chapter 5, Jesus calls us, people that follow him, the light of the world. And just as a city set on a hill cannot be hidden, we're to let our light shine for people to see. And you can only do that, and people only see that light as you're in relationship with them, as you're in connection, not hiding in a building for a couple hours a week. And that's what we call church, which is not being the church. And so throughout this process, I just kept going back, the process of leading and pastoring. I kept going back to that phrase that Jesus said, a city on a hill. And of course, being in Floyd Knobs, we're in the hills or on the hill, as a lot of people say. And of course, that just really resonated with me. And so we were thinking about, because we are a younger church, we have a lot of the founding family still apart, still serving, which is amazing. But definitely bringing myself on, and then I was able to get a few more people to join our team that are younger, and so we're starting to draw a younger crowd, and just thinking about how like God's given us like a mandate and something to carry out in our community. And so I wanted to do a name change, and I kept going back to City on a Hill, City on a Hill Church, City on a Hill. But just trying to, I guess, make it a little more catchy, but still keep that heart. In 2020, right? Well, we had the name change scheduled for a while, and we kept announcing that there was this huge announcement coming all of 2020, leading up to March 15th. Well, we know what happened the week leading up to this big announcement, a little thing called COVID, which shut us down. So behind the scenes, we were operating in the new name with the name change. All the new, the paperwork and all the stuff that had already had to be done was all done. So we were Hill City Church throughout COVID, but then we waited later on and had one of those drive-in
I was
services.
there.
Remember those
Oh, yeah.
drive-in services we had to do over COVID, and because you couldn't get in the building with people. So crazy to think about now, but
You guys had the cloth and you dropped down and the name was up
oh,
there.
we did. We
Yeah.
did. Yeah. So that was super cool. So, yeah, launched that new name with kind of a new, not just like branding for our church and what the organization side looks like, but really that's what launched us into this whole mission of connecting people to life and really trying to get to a place where Sunday mornings are no longer the pinnacle. They're just a part of what we do so that we can encourage, equip for everyone's Monday through Saturday to actually be the church out in the community. And so,
And that's amazing. And of course, I've known you for a while, but whenever I started here at Andy's Roofing and they're like, hey, I need you to head up the giveaways. And so, whether that's roof washing or putting on roofs, the first person that I thought of is right when you launched this initiative was, okay, one of our core values here is servant's heart. Who better to partner with than you guys? I mean, if you guys don't know, I don't know if it's 1 month out of the year or you guys do it multiple times, but like you guys literally cancel your Sunday services and you go out and you serve the community, whether that's food or helping people.
Yep.
And so after I saw that, I was like, dude, there's no better person to partner with our core value of servant's heart and what you guys are doing with this. And this leads right into how we partner with you guys. Tell me a little bit about the initiative that you guys started and how we met and started getting into that.
Absolutely. So within this new launch of our mission of being people that connect other people to life and life found in Christ, life found in community, we want to do that in very practical ways. Last year, it was 2023, I was looking at buying a property for myself to renovate, fix up, but I had a waiting period where in this waiting period, it was only owner-occupant, government agency, or nonprofit entities could bid on this house. And so I waited till the end of that. I ended up submitting an own bid, getting the house after that. But again, just that's how the Spirit, I think, works with me, reminds me of these little phrases or these little things that happen in my life over and over again. And that phrase, nonprofit entity, kept coming up in this bid that I could have submitted. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. Wait, I'm a pastor leading a nonprofit organization. We're that nonprofit that could have bought this home. And so from that, I'm thinking, okay, how can we get out into the community by providing possibly affordable housing for people? So we started this thing called the Re-Initiative, where it's all about restoring homes, reviving hope, and rethinking how we do church.
Yeah.
And so from there, we ended up buying our first property last August, and we had over 1,100 man hours that have been volunteered and given to that initiative.
And that's mostly by people in your church, right? I know there's other people too, but
in our church, outside of our church community, the coolest part lately has been seeing all the people from the community that have stepped up to come and serve, whether they go to Hill City or not, or calls Hill City home or not, which has been cool. Also, in this initiative, it's providing affordable housing for single moms. And when we get the moms in the house, we do this huge Amazon wish list to make sure they have everything they need. Because some of them are coming from programs where they have no dining room table, no dishes, no bedding, things like that. And so they get into this home and then they need all this stuff, pots and pans, spices, whatever it is. And so we started creating this Amazon wish list to help the moms moving into the homes that we're renovating. And we've had people from out of state, even out of the country, that know what we're doing, have heard about what we're doing, and they'll get on that Amazon wish list, buy something, and it shows up at the property. And we're like, who did this come from? So that's been super cool. But this
Christmas.
initiative, yeah, I know, right? And we're talking, these Amazon wish lists have 60, 70, 80 items.
yeah.
And every time we've put it out, 100% of the items have been claimed and bought just from people in our community and around the country now, I can say.
awesome.
So, which is super cool. But within that process, we had the first one. We had over 1,100 volunteer man hours put into it. Different people started showing up. Businesses would also come out. We had someone come out and buy the material for the fence. We had another person to come and do all the flooring for free. We had a company that came and laid the sod around the entire property for free. So I could tell this is something that we're making an impact. People want to get involved and be a part. And it's really fulfilling our mission as a church to connect people to life very practically. And so I could sit here and give you 10 other wins that this thing is. And so because of that, we decided to go ahead and start investing more into these properties for single moms and affordable housing. And so within a short amount of time from that decision, less than a year, we're now up to 5 properties. And so 2 of the properties are fully renovated with families living there. And then our 3rd property that we acquired this year, we started work on it just a few months ago. And right when we purchased it, honestly, and I'll tie it in now to this, is whenever you approach me with what you guys are doing here at Andy's Roofing and how you want to get involved in making an impact in the community, making a difference through generosity, and what you all do with providing these roofs. And I know I've seen the veteran program too. So just want to say kudos to Ethan, the team, you, just for the heart that you have to really give back. I think honestly, God honors that, and people see that there's other people out there that truly want to give and truly want to help without getting anything in return. And that's part of what I would say is that unconditional love that God shows us, that we're also called to show others, like loving them, whether we get it in return. We love them, we show love, whether we get, anything back in return. And so, so then you reached out, we partnered up, and you guys came out, man, was that 2 weeks ago now? Yeah. And showed up with 45 people. I would say show up with a team, but you showed up with an army. Yeah. And I think you guys got on site around 7:30, had the whole roof ripped off within an hour, already putting down the new felt and started shingling. I think you guys got finished by 11:30. You were cleaned up and hauling the trailers out of there by noon, same day, and a house and the garage. And the garage, yeah. So yeah, what an awesome team you have. What an awesome corporation, company you guys have. Ethan, as a visionary, has done just an incredible job of just orchestrating just an impact in the community that's seen and felt and experienced. So it's super cool.
Tell me a little bit before we get out of here, and I'll put your information in the links below. But if somebody watches this and is like, I just want to help, whether it's financially, your Amazon wish list, or man hours, how can we reach out to you, and how can I connect somebody else to you?
Yeah, absolutely. And so because this thing kind of just started last year, I got the kind of vision for it in February. We bought our first house in July. We started work in August. And then since August, now we have 5 properties. So you can imagine it's just like went so fast, so quick. That we're like starting to build a lot of the policies. We're starting to build the foundation stuff still with websites, with information. But I would say the best way to check out what we're doing is to follow us at Hill City on all of our socials, whether it's Twitter or Facebook. We put all of the information out there of the Saturdays we serve. We are in the works. I don't know when this is going to be released, but you could potentially go to re-initiative.com. All the information is going to be on there. Our friend Cody is building the website now. Matter of fact, hopefully it'll be done this week. But that'll be out there, re-initiative.com. You can go there, all the information about it, places to sign up, places to give, our Amazon wish list, all the things that you mentioned will be in one main
We'll have to post it this week so we can get Cody going. Like, hey, like this is posted, man. Like, where's the website?
Yeah. Well, what's cool is I actually have a meeting with him when I leave here. So I think he's got it done, ready to go live.
There we go. Well, Channock, thanks for coming out today. Again, Channock's with Hill City Church up in the Knobs, the Re-Initiative program. If you guys want to serve, donate, give, I'll link everything below. We just want to help the community. Like we said, servant's heart goes right along with your guys' core values. Well, we appreciate you guys watching. Like, share, subscribe. We would love to post all the new content and have you guys watch with us. Have a great day.